Thank you very much, Your Excellency, the President, for this opportunity. Your Excellency, the Deputy President, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, my old board member, Professor Anyang Nyong'o. I know we still call him Anyang Nyong, but I'm sure he likes to emphasize that his name is Anyang Nyong'o. It's a beautiful thing to be sitting here and amongst all of you. My name, Betty Maina. I currently work with an organization called Genesis Analytics. We are an interdisciplinary consulting firm, the largest that has been founded in Africa. But as David told the story of policy think tanking in Kenya, I was part and parcel of that journey from the Institute of Economic Affairs, which I took over from Wachira after David, and from my time within the Kenya Association of Manufacturers. So we've been part of this conversation together. And one of the things that is important as we think about how we will transform our country from where it is to a high-income, high-industrialized country, Singapore, it will require participation of many actors. I was privileged from the role that I played, from where I was within the IEA and the Kenya Association of Manufacturers, to be part of that conversation. And I saw the results, and I still see the results. And we confirm, like Professor Kanyinga has said, we've actually accomplished a lot that we intended to do under the Vision 2030. I know critics, sometimes if you spend so much time on social media and you get people who know just one line and say nothing has been done, it isn't true. So I hope as we get to 2030 that we'll actually have an honest accounting and give that report. But having done quite a bit with regard to in the context of the Vision 2030, we also recognize, and the researchers speaking today have clearly demonstrated there are some things that we haven't done as well. So, Your Excellency, as we now look at whether it's Kenya at 100 or another 30 years or whatever time frame we shall adopt going forward, I think one of the things we must learn is that we must do the things that we didn't do as well. And one of the things that we really want to emphasize, and because we have experienced it, both, as a child growing up in this country, and also ending up my public service as a CS, is one, if there's anything that we take out of this conversation today, it must be a commitment to rebuild a capable public service, a capable public sector. The public sector that we experience as children, it wasn't actually the public sector that I served with or found. And when I mean capable public sector, it is in the quality of our public servants. It is important to rebuild and to strengthen and to build a dignified public service that people can recognize that they are capable of delivering. Because the responsibility of midwifing a national vision like this, which we must own, must also be demonstrated and delivered by a capable public service. I have seen, I'm aware of some of the reforms that are being undertaken, but that freeze, I don't know whether you have opened it up, but I remember as CS, one of the challenges we faced was just being told there is a freeze on employment. And there was always a freeze. Is there still a freeze on employment, CS? Now, the people that I worked with as CS, when I called them back, they all told me we have retired. So when the competent, experienced public servants retire, who replaces them? And if we are not hiring, who will deliver this vision? It's not going to come by abracadabra. So if there's anything we challenge ourselves, it really is in building a competent public sector. Secondly, and I'd like to, it's been emphasized, and I don't know how we shall deliver it, but we need an institution. I know we've given examples of the Emirates, we've given an example of Singapore, we've given an example of Malaysia, China, all those. Those are countries that safeguarded the delivery of the vision over several political circles. Now, what are we going to do to answer that question? Vision 2030 was overseen by the National Economic and Social Council. We don't have a similar body. But even if it was a NESC, is it a NESC for 5 years, for 3 years, for 14 years, or 15 years? What sort of architecture do you propose? I know you mentioned it, Professor, but I think that's going to be one of the most critical institutions to ensure that we can safeguard the delivery of this vision. But thirdly, I think we need to also focus on ourselves and our own, character as Kenyans. Professor Kenyenga called it integrity. Maybe a simple way to call it is just a people committed to order. A people committed to order. You're driving and everybody starts, you think that, it's moving slowly. So what do? You overlap. And what happens? You all stop moving. And many man-hours are lost. People who will obey traffic lights, even at night, those are not Kenyans now. But those are the people that we need to become. People who will do the right thing, because in disorder, you lose so much. And you encourage people to take, quick, shortcuts. And before long, we have just fractured into a lot of disorder. So I think it's really important to build a culture of integrity and a culture of order. But above everything else, because we have already told ourselves we've been here before, I hope we can go with the conviction that this is not a far journey. This is actually going back to our days of excellence. Because if people came to learn from us, that means we were excellent people. So your vision, Mr. President, of building a Singapore should actually be telling people, let me take you back to a high-performing Kenya. Because that's what it is. I wish you well, I wish us well, and let us continue walking this journey together. It is possible.